Hello, this is Annie, and I would like to ask you a question. That is, do you think you can experience love, joy, and grief at the same time? I didn't think I could. In the first few months, when my son Anthony died by suicide, all I experienced was the passing of time, and I wasn't really aware of that, if I'm honest, because I sat in an armchair, bewildered. I sat in it for weeks and weeks. I did go to bed a few times, but I was in an impossible world inside my head, a world that hadn't experienced death by suicide before, hadn't experienced the loss of a child before. Although sadly, my brother died when he was 26, so I saw my mum go through it. And even then, even though I was a sibling, I didn't understand the depth of parental loss. And I want to give you hope today because you can feel joy, love, and grief at the same time. I think the thing for me is it was a dawning of that. It didn't happen straight away. I wasn't pushing it, looking for it, expecting it. But I got to a place in my grief where I couldn't take any more. The human part of me was saturated. I was grief saturated. And if you've lost a child, especially if you've lost anyone by suicide, a child by suicide, you will know just how that saturation feels. You breathe it, it's in your hair, it's in your nails, your toes, your cells in your body, it's in the cupboard you open, it's in the tea you drink. That grief is everywhere. And in that place, as I move from the August to my daughter's birthday in October, we try to find a new way of being with dates of note. We didn't quite make it in October, if we're honest. I made an album of Anthony all through his childhood up to just before he died. And most of the photographs were Anthony and Lindsay together, and they always had their arms around each other, and they were the best of buddies, and he loved her, and she loves him. He still loves her. And then we got towards Halloween, which I normally have an open house for all the children locally. My grandson came to help me to do that, so I got through that. And that's what you do in the beginning, isn't it? You kind of fall into things and get through them. It's a bit like you stumble in the mud and you get back up. And then I barely got through Christmas. And I got to a point 3 months after Anthony died at Christmas time where I was in that saturated place. And I curled on the rug and cried. And I believe in a greater intelligence in life. I mean, there must be something ordering nature. There must be a greater intelligence creating the universe. There must be a hand in creating humans, because We don't make a very good job of most things, unless I'm just speaking for myself. So there I was on the rug, curled up on my own. I don't think I was making much noise. I think I was just empty. The grief was leaking out of me everywhere. And I surrendered. I couldn't hold it in. I couldn't get over the next thing. I surrendered. And it was the best thing I've ever done. I said, here you are, spirit, God, whatever name you give that greater intelligence, mind. Here you are. I've tried. I'm too human. I need something bigger. And I was so exhausted, I went to bed. Tossed and turned, didn't sleep. But you know, I got up the next day and I had a glimpse of a blissful love, a truly blissful love. And somehow it felt like Ant was with me. And I'm sure he was. But I had to get to that place of can't do any more. And I don't know if you're there yet. But just let go. Let go of everything. And be in that moment of allowing the grief to move through you, because in trying to get through things, in trying to pretend to celebrate, in trying to get up and survive in the day, there's a kind of a push and pull resistance that makes you feel worse. A resistance to, and it comes out like this: I don't want to show my grief today. It's too deep. I've got to go to the shops. I better push it all down. There's somebody coming and I don't want to share it with them. And we make it conditional. And in that lying on the rug, I was in the most unconditional space of surrender. Nothing else, possibly worse than dying by suicide, my beautiful son, nothing worse could happen to me. And I let go. That place of surrender. Allow it to flow through. Be with the pain, be with the suffering. Don't push it down. Don't resist it. Do what you need to do in that moment. And if you allow it to flow through, you're not living there 24/7 like I was up until that point. We're not here to live wholly in grief. Our children wouldn't want that. We don't have to party. We can just be in one moment and breathe. Take care. You matter.